Welcome to the Elegance Of Nae podcast. I'm your host, Nae, and on this podcast, we talk about a variety of topics with amazing stories. Let's get into it, shall we? Hey guys, before we start the show, we want to give our love and support to Grind and Hustle Youth. They are a mentoring program that help ages 15 and older with business etiquette skills, in addition to offering a variety of classes from coding class, culinary, CPR, podcasting, and so much more. They also have a variety of courses that you can join as well, dedicated to mothers, fathers, elegant ladies, and raising gents. Check it out today at grindandhustleYouth.square.site. All right, let's start the show. All right, welcome back to the Elegance Of Nae podcast. I'm your host, Nae, and we have someone new in the building today. We have the one and only Mr. Julius Curry. How you doing today?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you mentally and physically today?
I'm great, man. This past weekend, we had a funeral for one of my former teammates, but we all got together and it turned it into a celebration, not just
Nice.
a death in the family. So.
I feel that. How is everything been going business-wise or career-wise so far?
Man, it's going good. Last year, we started our driver development program in Las Vegas, at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We had 26 drivers in our program, 27 as of today, that signed up. That's going to be out, also coming out 2024, with the career toward, motorsports, with a career in motorsports, sorry. And what we're trying to do now is create that clear pathway for people who don't know what the path is in motorsports.
I feel that. That's what's up. Now, what made you steer in the direction of motorsports in particular, or racing, or what would bring that passion out for you?
I mean, as a kid, I always loved racing because my Uncle Tim and my dad, they worked on race cars, and my Uncle Bernard. And, when I got to college, I wanted to utilize my degree, which is in sports management, marketing, and communication. And so playing football at the University of Michigan, I wanted to be able to utilize the tools that I learned in school and also what I learned on the field to apply into motorsports, to be able to show that transition for guys that are trying to transition into something life after football, or life after basketball, life after volleyball.
Right.
You can get into motorsports and recreate yourself and create yourself new opportunities, whether it's licensing deals, whether it's modeling, whether it's driving, whether it's being a team owner, or just being a minority in the industry that has an opportunity now and access to the opportunities that's for minorities, or not just minorities, but for anybody, but minorities in particular, to get into the sport and look at the opportunities.
Okay. Now let's kind of backtrack a little. So, how were you growing up as a kid? Like, where are you born and raised from Detroit, or where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from the east side of Detroit. I grew up on Chalmers and Outer Drive, but I didn't start there. I started on the west side of Detroit, and our house burned down, and then we moved east, and then I was east side ever since then. And so growing up, I was a paper boy in my neighborhood, and I rode my bike, and we played all sports that you can possibly play because my grandmother was running the rec center.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so she showed us the importance of community, giving back, and also like showing representing your family in the community. So that's what my goal is now, is to really represent our last name, which is Curry's, and then how we can really make an impact in our community on leadership. Showing them the pathway to motorsports, showing them the path, not even just in racing, but it may be fashion design, it may be art, it may be videography, media, creating content. Whatever that is, we can help steer you toward the pathway that you want to get into, not just race car driving.
Yeah, I feel that. So it's kind of just being that, directional guider for what they want to do.
Yep.
Make sure they can see they have more than one area, to partake in. Yeah. That's what's up. Like, where did you go in high school and things?
I went to Harper Woods Bishop Gallagher.
Okay.
That's where I went to school, and I graduated from University of Michigan.
Okay.
So I was in Catholic school my whole life. So I started off at St. David's, then I went to St. Matthew's, and I went to Bishop Gallagher, then University of Michigan.
Okay, nice. And how was it? How was the transition for you from high school up until college? Was it like a rough
It was tough
transition?
because I had a kid in high school. So going to college with a 4-year degree, scholarship, 4-year scholarship, it was tough because I had a kid, most people, they go to college and they don't have to focus on raising the kid, feeding the kid back home, and I did. And so my focus was a little bit different. Freshman year was stressful. I had a pretty bad grade because I didn't go to class all the time and I was
Mm.
focusing on what's going on at home.
Yeah.
And then after my first semester, I kind of got back on path and was like, okay, well, I can't miss class. I can't be late this many times. I can't do this. I can't do that. In high
Yeah.
school, you late 4 classes, you may get a detention. In college, you get dropped from the class. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit different,
Yeah.
the consequences of not being focused.
Mm.
And so, with a lot of things going on from being a early parent, a young parent in college, it was tough,
Yeah.
But I appreciate and I'm glad that I went through it because it allowed me to grow up a little bit faster.
Yeah. How was the your support system through that though? Did you have like a good, strong support system through that?
Yeah, University of Michigan provided us with everything we needed as far as academics. Well, we had counselors, we had
Mm.
study hall, we had a mandatory study hall for 2 years. So, it made sure that we got our work done. And in the first semester, I didn't take advantage of the opportunity. The second
Right.
semester, I did because I just didn't know how to take care of the opportunity,
Yeah.
the opportunity. So, the goal now is to be able to show guys it's cool to be smart. It's cool to know what to do. It's cool to be on time. It's cool to help and give back to the community and not just like it's cool to sell drugs. It's cool to smoke weed. It's cool, if you're a patient, that's cool. Recreation is cool. It's legal in Michigan. But my thing now is what's cool academically so that we can help our people economically become more valuable.
Mm. So now that you've okay, let's say this. When you were there in the recreational center versus now, what have you seen that's really changed from how it was back then to nowadays and age? Like, what's the difference that you've seen in the community wise that's really changed that you've noticed?
I think that there's just more opportunity for minorities to get businesses started.
Mm.
Back when I was in college, it just wasn't the opportunity. Even in racing, like we didn't have a clear pathway on. If you didn't go to college and was an engineer and got into the engineering program where they
Mm.
designed building a race, then you got to go to North Carolina or you got to go here. Well, there really was no one telling you you can go to Milan, you can go to, Michigan International Speedway,
Mm.
unless you were reading about it or you were
Yeah.
a race car fan. You
Mm.
follow the driver and the driver raced at this track and you follow him. But as far as access and opportunity to compete,
Mm.
that just wasn't there. There were a few drivers like Bill Lester and the Wendell Scotts and those guys that started off as mechanics and became, race car drivers in the Indianapolis 500, the Indy 500, and won the Indy 500, competed. But um, we're trying to create new opportunities, so
Yeah.
that they do have a path, and they don't have to be like, well, how do I do this and how to do that? Well, what do you know, and where are you trying to go?
Right. Have you ever had a impactful moment with someone in the youth growing up with them, or like what advice have you given strongly that helped that you've noticed that helped a
I
lot?
mean, we do so much in the community. Partner with IMI City Parks
Mm.
and IMI City Brand, which talks about sustainability, mental health,
Mm.
and the support system in the community to create that corporate community partnership to where we can go out and see what nonprofits need support, what nonprofits believe in our principles and being sustainable and also being creating new leaders in the industry.
Mm.
We want to open up our arms and invite those people into our space to
Mm.
say this is how you can evolve. This is how this is how we can create new opportunities for our community. So
Okay.
I think I've done a lot in the community as far as working with Seed Now Detroit.
Mm.
We just had a Christmas event where we gave out toys and stuff, but more importantly, we're giving them access this summer to be a part of our programs. That the people, the kids that were there, we were able to tell some of the parents, say, "Hey, come on out." I
Mm.
actually even met a person that signed up for as a driver in my program, just giving out toys.
Mm.
And so everything happens for a reason, but we want to grow organically in our community, and we want our community to know that we're here for them when they have those tough questions.
Yeah, that's really dope. I love that. And I love the fact that being able to branch out into certain parts of the city that don't really get looked at, don't really get like, seen or heard because we all need help somewhere
Right.
in some different way, shape, or form. How do you feel about either more schools or more recreational centers in community neighborhoods? Like,
Hmm.
how do you feel towards that? Because I know they take a lot down,
Hmm.
or it's a lot of abandoned buildings now.
Right.
So,
Well, yeah, and that's another thing with IMI City Parks. What we've been doing is cleaning up parks in the community. The person over there, Dawn Patterson, she's been cleaning up 6 Mile for over
mm.
6 years now.
Oh wow.
Making sure that the community is clean and and giving back. Whatever that they need. I mean, they gave out hand warmers to the homeless the other day. So
Hmm.
we do so much in the community, the small things, but we say we lead by example. We know other people will do similar to what we're doing,
Absolutely.
and it can be contagious in our community.
Yeah. What is okay, like how's your age range on like young males, like far as the help or mental help on
I mean,
them?
honestly, we start at 5 years old.
Mm,
If a parent notices that their kid may be ADHD or may
mm,
have some type of mental health issues or something like that, we help them. We have people that we can call and reference and say, look, we suggest you give these people a call in if you need some support. And so
right.
we do have access to psychiatrists and doctors that are trying to expand in those markets and create those places where if someone get triggered, they got somewhere to go. But if it's
Mm,
a kid and they get triggered, they got someone to talk to.
mm,
So it's the same thing for adults that we're trying to do for the youth.
yeah.
But at 5 years old, we started in motorsports, and if we notice at that point where someone that worked with us needs support, we'll figure out what that is, and we see how we can make it happen,
Okay.
how we can get the support.
Now, is there any current goals that you're seeking out or trying to roll out right now with either are they in your business aspect or personal aspect trying to
Yeah.
grow?
Well, our goal of 2024 is really just to show everybody the access and opportunities in motorsports.
Yeah.
Whether you're, like you say, whether you're an actor, an artist, a driver, pit crew member, a host for an event, a
Mm-hmm.
product, a business that wants to get their brand out there, whatever you are and whoever you are, we can
Mm-hmm.
figure out an opportunity and an opportunity that we can create specifically for you or based on your brand and based on your objectives and goals for your company.
Okay. Now, in the beginning, I had you pull out of our jar, and you chosen through the decades. Now, what decade do you feel like was the best decade for you, like that you love the most,
Man,
and why?
the the early 2000s were awesome. I mean, I was in college playing football,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a time where, you know, we were playing in front of 100,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
and the fans, saw the hard work we put in so that we can win on Sundays, on Saturdays or Sundays, depending on what my guys were doing. Because some of us were in the NFL, some of us were still in college,
Mm-hmm.
and so during that time, I really realized like what it is to be a professional and what it is to be accountable for what you're doing. If you're trying to get somewhere and you're a leader, you gotta live by a certain standard
Right.
versus you don't have people watching you
Mm-hmm.
and trying to follow your footsteps, whether you believe it or not, right? We have people that daily watch us and mimic what we're doing. So I
Mm-hmm.
do try to make sure that I make the right decisions on, leadership, on being a leader in the community as far as, showing them the right path and being that person they can talk to and go through when I did screw up or I failed, how do I
Mm-hmm.
get up and how do I change my behavior or how do we change the thought process during that period of time.
Okay.
But going back to that during that time, it was like we had, some of the best coaches in the world working with us. So we had leaders, great leaders that taught us how to be leaders.
That's dope. I think it's always great to be around people that are in our area of fields, or at least be surrounded by wise people that has the mentality of mental stability or guidance, the proper guidance, instead of being around the wrong
Yeah.
crowds. And because the longer you're around someone, the more you start to pick up their abilities or their
Mm-hmm.
talents or their skills or how their way of talking or thinking. So I think that's really cool that you chose to be around that type of
Mm-hmm.
minority and community aspect, and
Mm-hmm.
that goes a long way too, because it rubs off on either more young adults or whoever you choose to surround yourself
Right.
with too. So that goes a long way. Um, Now, far as like, I kind of spoke on it a little bit, but how important is Black males' mental health in just a day to day?
I mean, it's very important. I mean, just with myself, um, dealing with childhood traumas and concussions from playing football and
Mm.
relationships and in business and working and overworking and double booking and so it's a lot of stresses in life in general.
Yeah.
But for us, what we do is we talk to our drivers and talk to them about if they want to be a part of our mental health brand ambassador program, where we go out, we talk to mental health and wellness companies that are trying to bring more awareness to their techniques that work for people that they utilize,
Yeah.
whether it's for PTSD or whether it's for whatever it is. But I'm just saying PTSD for myself. But
Mm.
to be able to create those safe places and people to be around to help change your energy and your path for what you're thinking at that current moment.
Yeah.
You may feel like, oh, it's the end of the world, or it's not perfect, or life isn't perfect, so you can't beat yourself up for not being perfect, because but you still won the game. I was the guy that we won the game, but I'll talk about the two things I did wrong in the game because I felt like I could have played a better game, even
Yeah.
though we won. And so,
Mm-hmm.
that's just who I am. Is like I always want to be the best that I can be and lead by example.
Yeah.
So, when you don't live up to what you feel you should have did versus what everybody's saying, oh, congratulations. I'm like, yeah, we won, but I could have played better. I
Yeah.
was the guy who said I could have played better instead of saying, yeah, you know what, I did great. I thanks so much for giving me all this. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
just not that dude that always wants somebody, you know, me talking about what I did. I'd rather other people say, man, he did a great job, or he did a great game, and I want to be appreciative of them saying that, because you don't have
Mm-hmm.
to. People don't have to say that.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
when they do, it means something.
Right. That is very true. Hey guys, it's shout out break time. We want to give our love and support to the one and only Julius with this company called Curry Motorsports. Curry Motorsports is a driver development motorsports organization that develops drivers into pro drivers and coaches. Find out more at currymotorsports.com. That is CurryMotorsports.com. All right, back to the show. So, far as like a daily routine, how important is your daily routine on a day to day? Like getting up, getting ready to go. Like, is it the same, or do you feel like it changes almost every day?
Well, it changes based on the drivers when they call. Like we have drivers calling us all day, all night.
Mm.
Some may be in California, some may be in Michigan, and the time difference is
It's
changed. So I
different,
may be
yeah.
working at 12 o'clock, and it's only 9. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but we're always available for anybody that's on our team and anybody that is trying to work with us.
Mm.
We look at the 24 hours in a day mode, but we
Yeah,
also we still focus on getting enough sleep.
yeah,
And now this year we're gonna focus more on eating right and working out as a team. Last year we wanted to make sure we got our point across that we're here and we're here to develop.
yeah.
And now it's like, okay, well, this is how each individual person needs to develop as a person, and
Mm.
also as a driver, and then also as in your ideas and skills that you have that can help you get further in the industry and something else besides just driving a car.
Yeah. Now, how broad of like states, like what states are you like stationed in, or where do you
Yeah.
travel the most for
Well,
your
right now
company?
we've been in 2023. We mainly was in Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada, at Las
Mm.
Vegas Motor Speedway. This year we're adding Florida, so we'll be in Sebring. We'll be in a couple other tracks of in Miami. We'll be in um, Tampa area at those tracks because we got some dirt events and some motocross. So we're adding a lot of stuff to our program based on the drivers that are part of
Mm.
our program and where they are currently and how we can help them where they are and then where they're trying to go in their end goal, which is the dream. Like, what
Mm.
is your end dream? Is it to race NASCAR? Is it to race Formula One? Is it to race IMSA? So
Right.
we create a pathway no matter what that is. We help you, get there, and we have a tier system and different whether it's IMSA or NASCAR or Spec Miata or SCCA or NASA.
Mm.
So with those organizations, that's how you get licensed, and that's where you race with. Those are the organizations that you race and get licensed with.
Yeah.
And so we help drivers get those licenses, and then we help them get developed so they can race for an opportunity to race for a championship.
Nice. So how is the process going? Does it take very long for them to steer onto, or do you like have a nice one-on-one
Yeah, well, each
connection
driver is
first?
different, but
Mm.
right now we're starting NASCAR. We're starting at 5 years old,
Mm.
and stock cars, where NASCAR midget racing series starts at 5. It's quarter
Mm.
midget cars. And then at 10 years old, they race stock cars, which are full blown NASCAR style cars that adults race. And that's in California. So
Okay.
we're kind of, a little bit all over and we're expanding daily.
Mm.
So, I would say Vegas, Detroit, or Pontiac, because M1 Concourse is not in, it's in Pontiac,
Mm-hmm.
but Pontiac, Waterford Hills Raceway, or is the other track that we're gonna be here doing a lot of stuff. We're gonna be doing some stuff at Milan,
Mm.
Flat Rock Speedway. We'll host some drifting events.
Okay.
So we're gonna be spanning all over Michigan, and our goal is to be at all tracks, all 25 tracks in Michigan, doing something next year.
Yeah.
Whether it's taking drivers out there, taking kids out there, or competing in the actual event
Okay.
as a series sponsor or as a driver sponsor.
Nice. Now, how is the process for you to like do you choose to build the bonds with them first and then see how their mindset is, or do
Yeah,
you
we what we
just
do is we test our drivers. They come out and test, and then from
Mhm.
there we see where they fit based on their test. You
Okay.
know, and then not so now we're adding carts. We're doing carts starting in February. We're
Mhm.
doing Spec Miata starting in February. So those are two other cars and opportunities where they can learn how to be in a car for 2 to 6 hours at a time.
Okay.
So focus on endurance racing and not just the fastest lap.
Mhm.
A lot of drivers come in thinking it's about the fastest lap. We look at the fastest lap being consistently making fast laps
Mhm.
to show that you can operate at a certain speed over time and be consistent.
Okay. Now we kind of spoke a little bit on fatherhood. Can you explain how it's been for you from when you first started as a father back in high school up until now? How's that transition as far as um the different growths over time from firstborn to now?
Yeah, man, it's awesome actually. My oldest is at 27, my youngest is 3,
Okay.
And so I think that having um that gap where, you know, when I get to a certain age, I know I got a younger kid that's gonna be like, Dad, I'll help you out. My
Right.
son, he gonna be married with kids. So I think it was awesome. My life is just awesome. Some people shy away from having kids young, and I enjoyed having a son playing ball in college, and once I
Mm.
got to the pro, I enjoyed being a father. And when I had my children after that, I mean, once you have a kid, you it's you. It's
Mhm.
like the
Mm.
mini of myself, and the person that I had it with. But man, more importantly, the mini of myself
Yeah.
and the characteristics that I would like to help expand in my son or daughter's life,
Mm.
so that they do have opportunities that I had, or even better opportunities that I had, to access to people that they traditionally wouldn't have access to, because I graduated from University of
Yeah.
Michigan, and our alumni association is pretty strong in most states. So they have the access to that. And me, I have an opportunity to have 5 children, to where they have a father that is going to work hard and and give them a path that he can give them the best
Mhm.
path I can give them.
Now, have you taught them their ins and out within
Yeah,
your
they
business
already
too?
been in the game. Yeah, the
Yeah.
kids, all of them at some point, from my oldest son, videoing the drivers with this past summer, to my daughter, learning and modeling, and my other son, he modeling and learning how we operate at the racetrack.
Mhm.
And then so that when I am a little bit older, or even now, they can make extra money.
Right.
They have been making extra money doing those things already. So
Mm.
but yeah, man, all the kids are loving it.
Mm.
So
I think that's really cool because I feel like when us as entrepreneurs, we have so much that goes on about being a business owner, having to go through our ups and downs, and just having to have somebody technically shadow you to see the ins and outs of how it is to be a business owner when they're
mhm.
ready to be a business owner or take over or however you want to go with um, you know, how business is and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool. Now, how has it been? Of course, it's as time go by, things change throughout the years. What is the difference that you've seen from back in the day to now that you've seen that's drastically changed within a community or? just like through the years that you just seen that's just like, okay, that's not how it was back then, or
I think that what the things that the new thing that everybody's talking about is NIL, right?
mm,
In college, and so to me, it's like, and to be able to be a person that's in motorsports now, and to offer that kind of opportunity to college students that are in college,
mm,
and get into a market that's kind of untapped is what our mission is to get those non-traditional opportunities that inner city kids usually don't have.
mm,
And that's one of our main things, is be able to say, hey, this is the path, this is the opportunity. I mean, this is the opportunity, this is the path, and
mm,
now you got to make a decision on, do you want to really take this serious? And if you
yeah,
do, then let's sit down and talk about it.
okay. Yeah, that is very true. I feel like a a lot of colleges or schools are starting to branch into helping more of the community or the neighboring neighborhoods and trying to get more, I don't know if they just trying to get more students in
Right.
their doors or if they
Yeah.
actually genuinely, want to help the community through that whole process and things of that nature. So yeah, that goes, I feel like that goes a long way as well. Now, what through your day to day, like what's the artist that you listen to on a day to day that's like your go to, like that you like gotta have every single day, or a song, or just the person in general?
Man, Young Dolph, Tupac, um, Jeezy, of course, Gucci, D Street Lord Wine, 42 Doug, I gotta do Peasy, Rio, I got my Detroit artists I love,
Mm-hmm.
and Chatter Boy Malik, Lavelle MG,
Mm-hmm.
Sickin' Records, Alien Gang, so I'm just playing. But no, but those are some of the music I like to listen to. I love hip hop, I love R&B, I like jazz, I like some rock and pop. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm all over when it comes to music. But as far as Detroit artists, and then some of the biggest artists, bigger artists that I like, those are the guys I like.
Oh, that's what's up. At least you know a lot. Not a lot of people rep Detroit artists like that. Depending on, I guess, this today's day and age, or however people like to maneuver with music. But yeah, I think
Right.
that's dope to be able to rep, your
Yeah.
city.
Nisha the Shade,
See,
she killing the game.
yeah.
So
So
we
it's
got we got some dope artists in Detroit. So
yeah, it's even some celebrities I didn't even know was from Detroit that I found out this year. So I think that's the crazy part. But yeah, I think that's really cool. Do you have any questions or anything
no,
you
well,
would
my
like to
thing with you is, nah, I'm just playing.
say?
No, it's like what is your goal in the community for 2024? Like, what are your goals?
Um, for me, so I'm branching more into, because I do have a youth mentoring program called Grind and Hustle Youth LLC, and we help ages 15 and older with business etiquette skills and trying to pretty much be the guiders for you to be on your head about what you're really trying to do. And our goals right now is to get not only so many signed up, but to really branch out and making sure the youth know that they're being seen or they can be heard, even if you're not a youth and you're an adult. So many adults I've run into that we've helped, and they just want that a little boost, or just to be heard or seen, or just to get that additional help that
Right.
they need. Because sometimes after college or high school, you don't know where to go. Sometimes you just
Hmm.
like, all right, well, I graduated, got my GED. I don't know where I want to go. I know what I think I want to go.
Right.
So that's why we offer the variety of classes to be able to help you understand it. Like, you don't have to be in a box. You can be
Hmm.
branched out into wherever you want to see yourself, however you want to seek yourself into different fields and stuff. So
Right.
that's
I
kind of
like that.
like,
That's what's up. Seek
yeah,
yourself. You feel me? I
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So that's kind of like where we going with that. That's what I'm more so looking forward to as far as that. But and of course, I got a whole lot of other businesses and stuff too. But that's kind of like where I want to strongly pursue
Okay.
this year, as far
That's
as
what's
that.
up. Well, if there's anything I can do to support, let me know.
For sure.
I love to, be involved and get involved. That's one thing we're about, is being able to support communities, support businesses in our community,
Hmm.
and help them wherever we can help them at. It may be finding volunteers, it may be
Hmm.
sponsoring the event, it may be whatever it is. We'll love to see how we can form
Yeah,
some type of partnership and help
absolutely.
give back.
Yeah, I would not mind that at all. I feel like the more businesses actually genuinely network with each other and help one another instead of the greed or that little energy that you like, oh, what you really up to energy.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's genuine and it's wholesome, I feel like we all would prosper in
Right.
a lot of different ways of, helping one another and just growing and
Mm-hmm.
being able to do that. So I think if we get more people in that route this year, that would be
Right.
top
And I think
tier.
Detroit's on the way up. Everybody's talking about
Absolutely.
Detroit Lions, and now
Hmm.
that spills over into the community where we kind of chip on our shoulder where we got expectations now,
Yeah.
and it's just not at the football game. It's
Yeah.
in our lives. So if we can clean up our community more and continue to do that,
Yeah.
and support our youth organizations and support our local politics and support our mayor, and and participate,
Hmm.
then I think the more that we do that, the more we'll really benefit from being in the communities that we live in.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest and best goal to see is seeing either kids not on the street that's doing crazy things and they're actually doing things that can better benefit them in the best way that they see fit, that can help them be steered the right way, rather that's getting just as simple as getting a job, or
Right,
just simply as making sure that they're headstrong or they're surrounded by people that
right,
actually have
hmm
something on their head, or something on
right,
their shoulder, stuff like that. So
right,
like that plays a huge part too.
right. And we have had drivers that have been street drivers that now are, going to racetracks and not doing the streets anymore. So
Yeah.
we had a program that I'm working with Tripmo Active and T's Garage, and they were doing street takeovers, and now he's at the track.
Mm.
He just called me the other day, said, "Man, I got a project I want you to be a part of." I said, "I love it. I love to be a part of that program." And
Yeah.
now, and that was all about killer tires, not the homies.
Yeah.
It was a whole program, just like, instead of us fighting and beefing, let's see you really whip this car. Like,
Right, like put your
you
minds
can't
to something
slide this car
different.
better than me,
Right.
So let's focus on that. Let's
Yeah.
focus on, instead of killing each other, let's focus on, can you do this?
Yeah, turn into a competition.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that real wholesome energy too.
Right.
Yeah,
And
instead of like, yeah,
and it forces you to be like, damn, I gotta practice. I gotta get myself together. I can't just be thinking,
just be like,
talking I'm the man, and then you can't do a
yeah.
donut. You're
Yeah.
like, bro, you can't even do a donut. So,
Yeah.
but I think that, that those new opportunities is what's gonna help develop our community and make it a safer place. So now we're not gonna be on the streets and we're gonna be at tracks.
Yeah, I feel that. Now, are you interested in doing a part two?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely
All
gonna be,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
and so wherever we can take it, we trying to be a part to help expand what you're doing.
All right. Well, for those that are listening, make sure to be on the lookout for our part two on our Patreon and on our Spotify. Subscribe and make sure to listen and tune in, and definitely check out Curry Motorsports as well and look into all that fine energy, all that fun stuff. Anything you want to say before we close?
Yeah, you can catch me on at official Curry Motorsports on Instagram. Also, you can go to www.currymotorsports.com. One of our partners that if you're trying to get signed up for driver development, I Am My City brand on Instagram, and at info at I Am My City if you want to sign up as a driver. So let us know. Those are the ways you can contact us, and I look forward to to see what our community needs and want and how they want to get involved.
Absolutely. And all that information will be down below in the description. So make sure to look out for that. And we'll see you until next time. It's a wrap. It was great seeing you. We're so happy you joined us for this episode. Can't wait to see you next time. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And check out our information down below in the description. See you till next time. Bye.